Hey, what is going on everybody, and welcome to Fantasia. For today, we're going to be jumping into another session of Epic 7. Now today, got some more Epic 7 World Championships 2023 for you guys, and here we are, sitting on the main stage, looking at the Grand Finals. That's right, on the left side we have Poopest, representing the global servers Pride and Joy, and we got on the right side Marguerite, representing the Japan server, vying for that top spot here. Poopest opening up the game with two really strong pre-bans, just like he did in the finals, right? The winners finals previously against Marguerite. This is a rematch between the two because they've already played tonight. Bellion is banned along with the Navy Captain Landy. Poopest does not want to have any major RNG contributing to this match. Lua and Aola, standard bans from Marguerite coming out on the right side, and Poopest going to be opening with that Spectre Tenebria, hoping that she's going to be carrying him throughout this tournament, especially with Bellion and Navy Captain Landy banned, two very strong AoE units, right? So see Lilius and Handguy getting picked up on Marguerite's side. Very decent openers, very strong generic openers here being used by him. Zio, very good at contesting this Conquer Lilius, and essentially just opening up for very aggressive plays as well. Poopest opting to go for Peyra, which is very good at preventing the Sea Lilius from buffing the team with her unbuffable. Restrict as well, stopping Handguy from potentially cutting and cleansing everything before before Sea Lilius takes a turn here with his Warhorn. And we see Aiden get picked up as well, and now hovering over the Celine. I don't think Celine is going to be picked out over here, but Aiden is definitely pretty strong for Marguerite's side, especially into stuff like Zio and Peyra. They don't really have enough to deal with her. Spectre Tenebria is a good pick into the Aiden. Her only AoE is, of course, her S2 counterattack, but the Spectre Tenebria's S1 that's uncounterable. You can actually burn that passive ability by hitting her, and then subsequent hits on the next couple of turns will not be able to get countered. So Senya now getting picked up on Marguerite's side, very good into Poopest's entire team right now. Senya can lock down Spectre Tenebria. Even if she's lifesteal, she cannot sustain through the reflect damage, and she can't actually sustain through all the counterattacks and the Spear of a New Dawn procs. Yoha getting picked up, really good actually into the Aiden. Questionable into the Senya though right now, because Yoha, she does need a lot of health missing to be able to nuke Senya, and from what I've seen in Marguerite's previous matches against Poopest, that Senya is very tanky, like 21, 22k HP, and built specifically to be able to last through these kind of tank units. Poopest opting to go for a Jacko last pick. That's very interesting. It's an aggressive draft, but the Yoha doesn't really make sense in this type of aggressive draft. Maybe if the Yoha was some other DPS unit, it might have been okay. I was kind of expecting Poopest to maybe pivot and shift towards a slower playstyle here. No, opting to go for the Jacko, and Marguerite locking in Rem. Rem is really good right now into Poopest's entire team, so we can probably see a Spectre Tenebria get banned out here, because Spectre is good into Aiden, Senya, and Rem because they all rely on counterattacks. So you see she is gone. Aiden is going to get wiped out here, especially if you want to open with something like Peyra. You want to get rid of the Aiden so that your Jacko can actually just not get nuked immediately out of the gate. Otherwise your Peyra can't use her S2, so getting rid of that Aiden is pretty strong. Just hope that this Rem doesn't counter too early on. If she does, it could be the end of Poopest immediately. Now I see Poopest is starting this. This is round number 2 because they gave a point to Poopest. I've already watched the finals already, so they actually don't do a legit double elimination style here. In terms of how the matches work out, but let's take a look. They just give Poopest a 1-point advantage going into this. Is a best of 7 match, so there's gonna be 7 rounds, at least up to 7 rounds. Here. So we see Zio gonna go for the S3, Rem is gonna counter with a single target attack, defense breaking, and we see the Jacko critting the Rem. So that is huge, taking her out immediately. And I think what Jacko needs to do right now, there are souls from Zio, so you can soul burn into the Handguy and try to get that stun. If you can get that stun, there we go, she's got it. She can go into stealth, and now she's looking in at a pretty decent position. It's still not the best because the Sea Lilius though You definitely want to stop her from being able to S3, but I don't think there's a chance that Poopest can do that. Hand guy's already been pushed up here, so you see that, yeah. Even if you are able to stun the C. Lilius, I think the Handgo will just be able to cleanse everything, and then she'll be able to debuff you anyway. So Senya is able to go and proc, so no buffs coming out for the Hand guy or for the C. Lilius, because they have unbuffable from the Para. But Para did hit that Senya, and that's actually pretty notable here, blind and restrict. However, again, Hand guy is going to go ahead and cleanse all of that up. Right now, Poopest is looking to be in the advantage, but Jacko can get knocked out of stealth here with this S3 from C. Lilius, just stripping everything. And with that, I mean, the Senya does, even though she's at elemental disadvantage, her Spear of a New Dawn can still proc on miss, so when she hits Jacko, it'll be a huge chunk of her HP getting taken away. Good on Marguerite for focusing on the Zeo. Jacko's mostly done her thing already, but Zeo's still a pretty big threat, and he has a defense break, so you get more value out of your unit's turns by hitting that Zeo instead of that Jacko. S3 coming out from the Senya, you can look at that. Almost half of Jacko's health getting taken away from just a single S3, and that's from a unit that has elemental disadvantage, which they're doing 30% less damage in RTA because of the Frenzy system. So we see Hand guy coming in, S2 onto that Zeo, just trying to take him out, but unfortunately unable to do that. Attack down on him is going to be pretty good though. Prevents him from essentially dealing any damage to all of these really buffed units. Vigor buff on everybody increases their defense. Got a barrier from the C. Lilius as well. Look at that. Hardly able to break anything, actually. Nothing coming out on the Zeo's damage output. Para's getting countered out of her stealth, so there she goes. Escort buff also soaking up too much of the damage. Yoha not being able to soak up damage here is actually a little detrimental to Poopest, and the Jacko going in for that attack because she got provoked, and yep, this is pretty much over at this point. I think Poopest's team is way too weak to be able to do anything, and I don't think Yoha's going to be killing with her S3, because again, this Senya, look at her, still sitting at about 20k health. Yoha pretty much has to be straddling the lines of life and death in order to be able to kill this Senya, and I don't think he's going to be able to manage that. Let's see though, he's hanging on with this Yoha. Hey, I mean, if you're able to reduce her cooldowns while under S3 by soul burning, right, and take an extra turn, maybe speeding up the process a little, if he can take out this Senya, he should be able to maybe, with a combination of reflect damage and her counter set, be able to squeeze out a win. But let's see. See Lilius coming in, bringing the Senya once more. So the barrier coming out from the Yoha, trying to protect herself. And Senya's going to get a barrier. That's going to be pretty bad, though, because I don't know if this Yoha's going to be able to kill here. Hand guy's going to be able to take the turn. He has S3. He could just go for that. Nope, opting to go for the S2, just trying to DPS her down as much as possible. She's missing about 21k health. Is she going to be able to kill the Senya? Maybe that barrier is just going to be a little bit too much. Let's see. Is he going to do it? No, he's not. 13k damage, and he gets counterattacked and finished off by the Senya. No kill means no heal for Yoha, and that is very unfortunate. So now the rounds are tied 1-1. Poopest now has to try to reevaluate how he's going to approach Marguerite's team. Opting to open with a C. Lilius here, because Spectre Tenebria was banned out. Spectre Tenebria looks like it's part of Poopest's plan, especially with that Bellion and the Navy Captain Landy as the pre-bans, right? You're really hoping to get that Spectre Tenebria through every match. And Marguerite saying, you know what, I will risk it. I will ban that Spectre Tenebria. Especially because Poopest's last pick was just not something that was a forced ban, right? Fighting that Jacko was pretty easy for Marguerite, especially with tanky units like Senya and whatever Marguerite's last pick was. The Rem, right? The Rem, there it was. Yeah, so both of those units can deal with the Jacko pretty easily just because they're sheer bulk. And again, Senya has that built-in anti-crit as well, so it's a gamble for Jacko to hit her. But we'll see what happens here. Marguerite opting to go for Lionheart Sirmia. Very strong to see Lilius, even though Navy Captain Landy is banned out. And we see the Hand guy also get picked up as a cleanser from Marguerite's side. Arlo getting picked up here as a damage mitigation unit for the team, soaking up some of the damage that could potentially be coming in from Lionheart Sirmia. Although I do think something like Yoha or even Crow, because Crow's multipliers are better than Yoha's in terms of his nuke on his S3, he doesn't ignore damage sharing, and he's more of a team support unit with his defense bust, but he could actually be pretty good here. But anyway, APOC Ravi getting picked up by Poopest. Yeah, without a cleanser on the team though. Marguerite seeing that and going for the A Tywin, who could actually potentially lock down the Poopest's A Ravi. Okay, so Marguerite's still scrolling through his units, hovering over Leica, which not really great into a C. Lilius, especially because there's no other speed contesters on Marguerite's side. But again, seeing the lack of cleansers on Poopest's team, he's going to opt to go for a Solitaria. And Solitaria has potential, along with a Tywin, to just permanently lock down this APOC Ravi. So Poopest really needs to bring out some cleansers here. Let's see what he does. Opts to go for Ron. Very aggressive strategy, but hey, it's an immunity buffer, and he's pretty much guaranteed to go first here, right? Because unless the Marguerite picks Zeo, Ron's going to be able to go, put that S2 up, A Tywin can't stun or provoke, and Solitaria only reduces the buff durations by 1 turn on her S3. Could work out here for Poopest. We see the Leica get picked up as well. That's a really nice pick here, especially if she can outspeed Marguerite's team. You can try to nuke down that Lionheart Sarmia early, and then there's no more DPS on Marguerite's side. We got that. Ooh, we got the Ocean Breeze Luluka coming out though, and that is a really good pick into the Leica, because if she goes for the non-attack skill, her S2, Luluka's able to cut, and then yeah, that's not going to be great. So Ocean Breeze Luluka is the ban, which means Leica must be the ban. I think both players knew what was coming. If Ocean Breeze Luluka was banned out and Leica was left to her own devices, she would actually just be able to nuke the Lionheart Sarmia and it's over, right? So Marguerite had to ban her out here, and now we're going to play out the first 4 picks on either side. Poopest's going to go ahead and go for the Ron S2. Immunity buff on everybody, and attack buff as well for himself, so he's going to go ahead and rip that S3. Let's see if he can get any defense breaks on the other side. And we see pretty much nothing come out. Wow, the A Tywin cleansing one of the debuffs. I think Lionheart Sarmia had a debuff on her, but the rest of the units either resisting one or both of the other debuffs here. Look at that. See, Lilius also getting resisted by this Lionheart Sarmia and the A Tywin. That is pretty big. Solitaria has that attack down on her, but just looking at this right now, no dual attacks coming out because that Lionheart Sarmia threatening to just nuke the entire team, which means that Solitaria is going to be pretty safe. A Tywin got provoked and pushed back a little bit, but that is still not going to prevent Marguerite from just going ahead with his hand guy. Going to go for the S2 instead, putting attack down the APOC Ravi. Very smart play. Opting not cleanse here. No need to. The attack down doesn't affect anybody really, and there's no need for an immunity right now, especially because Arwol hasn't stunned yet, so you can save your cleanse for afterwards, right? APOC Ravi getting that unbuffable stacked on her. She does get a blind, but no stuns coming out on the side of Marguerite. The only good thing right now is that Solitaria is stealth, so she is in the back line. APOC Ravi missing on that A Tywin. Unfortunate, not able to get any real damage onto him or any injury to reduce the amount of damage he does, because he is an HP scaling unit. So we see Arwol coming in with an S3, gonna try to stun that A Tywin. He's already cleansed off of himself, that's why he has the rage buff here, so he can get stunned, he's gonna get controlled. He does not want the A Tywin to rip an S3 into his team and stun and defense break, so he's trying to stop and stall as long as possible. Lionheart Sarmia not really getting anything done with that S1, mostly because C. Lilius hasn't dual attacked yet, but that's all gonna change very, very soon. We see the hand guy popping his S3. He's going to turn cycle with this. 50% combat readiness for himself. Immunity and attack buff for his team. Not that it really matters all too much because his units are not attack scaling. Dual attack with the A Ravi is huge. That's actually bringing A Tywin down to a very lethal range. And S3 from an APOC Ravi can spell disaster for Marguerite. S3 coming out from the Solitaria, trying to strip the immunity buffs away. There you go. Stun onto the APOC Ravi. That's very unfortunate. She's going to lose her next turn. Again, no cleansing on the side of Poopest here. We see a Soulburn coming out. No strip on that defense buff on that Lionheart Sarmia. Arwol tried her best with that Soulburn to get 2 buffs stripped here. And I don't think the Ron is going to live. Ron could have potentially taken out this A Tywin on his next turn, but this Lionheart Sarmia coming in hot with her S3. And there you go, Ron is fallen, and APOC Ravi is just stunned here. So Poopest really straining right now in his seat. You can see he's leaning back to get some better posture going, and it's not looking too good for him right now. Marguerite's just kind of having his way. This Tywin actually has the rage buff, so he can ignore resistance. He could go for an S3. I don't see why not. Get that defense break going onto as many units as you can. Is not 100% chance, but anything is better than nothing at this point. Oh, Oh, and we see the triple defense break come out. Stun on the C. Lilius. This is not looking good for Poopest. I think Marguerite's going to flush him out here with the next Lionheart attack, especially if C. Lilius dual attacks here. We're going to see the Solitary go for the S1. Nice little dual attack from the Lionheart Surmia, actually chopping away at this APOC Ravi's HP. Big stun coming out on that APOC Ravi yet again, just locking her down. She's not being able to see any other turn, I don't think. S2 coming out from the hand guy, deleting that Arwell, and now this Lionheart Surmia going to be coming in. I think she's going to go for that defense broken C. Lilius. Yep, there you go. So Soul Burn for good measure, deleting that C. Lilius from the game. Got a provoke coming out on that APOC Ravi. A Taiwan doing his best to tank here, and there you go. Poop is conceding defeat right now. Not looking too good. Maybe things are looking pretty rough here. You could say it's maybe kind of constipated in this round. So going right here into round number 4, Marguerite actually up 1 point against Poopest. He actually hasn't won any matches yet, any rounds here. That 1 point again was that grace point that was given because he went undefeated going into the winners of finals, the grand finals here. So see Lilius getting picked up by Poopest, and we see again Hand Guy going in here for that colonoscopy with his with his reach and flexibility. We see this Lionheart Surmia as well getting picked up. She is going to be quite interesting to see into C. Lilius, because again she's going to punish C. Lilius just by existing, right? And this Lionheart Surmia has been such a strong pick, and Poopest really needs to find a way to deal with her. We see DJB coming out for the Hand Guy, perhaps for his barriers on his S2. Could be pretty good. Immunity buffer as well. Not too bad, especially if A Taiwan comes out yet again. APOC Ravi getting picked up by Poopest. She has to be picked up a bit earlier, right? Especially in these standard v standard matchups, but she's not as good as she used to be, especially if your opponent is taking away Hand Guy, which is one of the best supports for her with that immunity buff, the cleansing, and the CR pushing and turn cycling, right? So we could potentially see some more control coming out on Marguerite's side. I know DJB exists here, but DJB is a one and done unit, right? Usually with his S3, when he pops it, he loses the huge amount of damage mitigation he has when his S3 is available. It's 30% crit damage reduction, which is huge. But then also, his skills are pretty long to come off cooldown, especially if Marguerite doesn't get any barriers on his team. Then DJB is kind of stuck without using his S2 to turn cycle with. A Taiwan's going to get picked up, and we got Shuna as well. Shuna's actually really strong in the debuff department, essentially like a Hand Guy, but most of the debuffs are the same as Hand Guys, except she has a bit more utility, right? She has non-attack skill, sleep, and attack down. That is AoE, that can hit the whole team, and she also can redistribute health. Now she does give her team a barrier when she does that, kind of bad into DJB, but she can still heal with an S1, so it's not necessary for her to use it. Let's see what Poopest is going to do into this 8 time. Opting to go for another cleanser here, Dilibet, to help make things go down a bit smoother, I guess. And we got Lethe also getting hovered over. She's pretty good into a Lionheart Surmia, but is it really going to be enough to cut through Marguerite's team? Nope, opting to go for a Straze. Yeah, Marguerite's team looks pretty slow right now, so opting to go for some faster units could be pretty good. Leica is banned out here, so Straze is the next best option. So we'll see how that plays out for him. Sylvan Sage Vivian getting picked up by Marguerite is a very good pick. Poopest kind of on the back end here while he's sitting on his porcelain throne. Yeah, because this Sylvan Sage Vivian is really, really good into APOC Ravi. She really doesn't have the damage to burst through Sylvan Sage Vivian's mitigation and healing and sustain. So we're probably going to see her get banned out. Yep, and there goes the Straze as well, because Marguerite's team is not fast enough to really contest with an attack buff Straze, especially if he has Benimaru's Tachi. You know, DJB can push him up as well if he's a little bit slower, and C. Lilius also gives a vigor buff, so it's a guaranteed kill on that A Taiwan. So, yeah, let's go ahead and see what this play is going to be like with Poopest here. Going to open up with that C. Lilius, and he's probably going to vigor buff his entire team, fortify his defenses, and try to protect from Marguerite's onslaught of debuffs that are about to come in, right? 3 support units in Lionheart Surmia. We see Marguerite just kind of repeating what he did last match. Alright, Provoke coming out onto this A Taiwan. Is the Shuna actually going to go for her S2? S2 to redistribute health? I don't think so. She might just go ahead and pass on this. Yeah, because the attack down doesn't really matter all too much. Another dual attack coming off of Marguerite. He's getting really lucky with these dual attacks, even in the last match, right? Where Lionheart Sturmia is brought along, and it helps quite a bit. Mostly because the fact that, ooh, nice little stun coming out from DJB onto this Lionheart Sturmia. The reason why it helps Lionheart Sturmia is because when she attacks, even if it's from a dual attack, she gains Fighting Spirit, which means she can use her S3 much sooner, naturally, even if there are no dual attacks coming out from something like C. Lilius. Dilibet coming in, going for the S1, just chipping away at this Lionheart Sturmia here. She is pretty bulky, and there's damage mitigation in the form of a Tywin, just trying to chop away at this DJB. He is the unit that is going to prevent Marguerite from popping some of his skills on Handguy, like the S2 on him, and of course the I guess the S2 as well on the Shuna to redistribute health and grant barriers. A Tywin going to provoke the C. Lilius, hoping that she brings along something maybe like Dilibet or a DJB, instead of this Apoc Ravi, who's going to be hitting like a truck, right? Doing a lot of damage to this Lionheart here. So she is actually going to go ahead and proc her passive, which is very unfortunate because now she has a full Fighting Spirit gauge and defense buff. So this is going to be a tough pill to swallow for Poopest when Marguerite's turn comes around. Alright, Shuna is going to be taking the turn here. She is not going to be sleeping, I don't think. Yep, just going for the S1. A little bit of healing up for his team. And we're probably going to see this Lionheart just pop her S3. There's not mitigation on Poopest's side, so that's something to note as well. While A. Ravi is pretty tanky and Dilibet has high defense as well, this could be the end of something like DJB. He hasn't really popped his skills at all here. He just kind of just uses S1. It's, okay, so we're going to see the S2 coming out, barrier for the team, but the problem here is DJB is probably not going to be taking another turn. Look at that Lionheart Sturmia, she's going to be coming up next, and she has a lot of buffs as well, right? 6 buffs on her here, including a defense buff, so it's going to hurt. Dilibet's going to be losing her Vigor buff here, just opting to go for the S3. Maybe because without the damage mitigation, Dilibet could go down with this Lionheart's S3 here. If she goes for an S1 onto Dilibet, could potentially take her out. So Poopest just saying, hey, you know what? I'm just going to pop it. I have DJB for cleansing, so why not? And I don't know if that's the choice. Oh, look at that. DJB and Dilibet both so low on health. I think DJB is going to get taken out because he hasn't used his cleanse yet. Meanwhile, Dilibet already has used hers. And yep, there you go. Soul Burn just for good measure. And down he goes. Can Apoc Ravi kill this A. Tywin here? Could go for an S3. She is Vigor buffed. But, is it gonna happen? 12k damage? No, it's not! A. Tywin living with a sliver of health there. No revive coming out. That DJB was sorely needed for some momentum and turn cycling, especially because that Handguy still has a little of a barrier that Poopest could potentially have worked with for some barrier inversions. Again, Shuna also hasn't popped her S2 to redistribute some health, so that could have helped as well. But yeah, let's see what happens here. She goes for an S1, so does Handguy. Turn cycling is Lionheart Sturmia. She has another S3 ready, and this is just not looking good for Poopest right now. Lionheart Sturmia bring out the poop knife, slicing through Poopest's entire team, and there you go. Down goes Dilibet, down goes the C. Lilius. Apoc Ravi is the last one standing. Soul Burn for good measure, and Apoc Ravi down to under 6k health. No Soul Burn for her S1, otherwise she might have been able to kill there. Oh, Poopest is not looking great in this situation. Handguy gonna go ahead and S3, just ensure that he doesn't give free hits onto this Apoc Ravi for her to heal up. Yep, Shuna does have an S3 ready, but nope, opts to not go for it. Just S2 to redistribute some health. Lionheart Sturmia going for some S1 to deal some more damage. Again, this Apoc Ravi doesn't have her S3 at this point, only an S1 and no Soul Burn. So I think it's pretty much over at this point. Poopest did his best to withstand and hold it in, but nope, in the end, looks like he's going down the drain. Yep, especially with the Shuna coming in with the attack down, preventing this Apoc Ravi from dealing even more damage to Lionheart. So S2 coming out, just for good measure, let's stack double attack downs onto this Apoc Ravi. And there you go, Soul Burn coming in, and down she goes. So yeah, Marguerite looking very, very strong here, having taken 3 matches off of Poopest. It's match point. It's round number 5. If Marguerite wins this one, Poopest is gonna be, well, just a little poop going down the drain. That's all I can say. Marguerite with the power of his body pillow in the background there, and with his mom coming in, right? Are you winning, son? With the little snacks his mom brought in for him in his match against Winter Wish. Maybe that's enough. Maybe he has enough support, right? Maybe Marguerite was the protagonist all along. It was his training arc up until now. We will see. Poopest go, opening up with the Sea Lilies yet again. Marguerite's just running it back. Hand Guy, Lionheart, Surmia, A Tywin. Poopest this time picking up the Shuna, saying, hey, you know what? I have her built. She seemed pretty good in the last match against me. Why not go ahead and use her here? The A Tywin with some cleansing potential. And again, Hand Guy on the other side, getting to cleanse and put immunity buff up as well. Shuna's not looking too great here. And with a Solitaria A Tywin staring down this A Ravi, I don't know if this is it. Poopest's going to try something new here with the first pick in the E7WC. Ida coming out, going for a very aggressive style. Ron opening up as well, getting that immunity buff for the team. He is on RNL, I believe, so he might be able to try to take out a unit early on in the match. Let's see if he's able to do it. I think Marguerite Solitaria has some resistance. She wasn't debuffed by the Ron in previous matches, so yeah, let's take a look and see what happens. Senya might get picked up here as the last unit. Nope, opting to go for Dilibet. Yes, Dilibet is indeed going to be the unit here. She's pretty good, right? In terms of going into the Ron, is to see Lilius into Shuna. A lot of opportunities for a lot of debuffs to come down to your team, and she's a secondary cleanser to support the Hand Guy. A Time getting banned out here along with the Ida. Is this going to be enough though? APOC, Ravi, and Ron as the DPS units against the Solitaria. That's going to be very, very tricky. Especially because she has the potential to just control this APOC Ravi single-handedly. Alright, so S2 coming out from the Ron, got that attack buff, got the immunity buff. Arnell coming out here. Is this it? Is this time for Poopest to shine? See the S3 coming out. And resist on the Solitaria. Dilibet cleansing the buffs off of herself. He's going to S1 to the Hand Guy. A lot of damage coming out. Wow, look at that. But he is going to survive, and Dilibet can actually cleanse and push up the entire team here. So Poopest with the Sea Lily is not able to go immediately. Does have immunity though, so not going to get reset. This Ron helping out the team quite a bit with that S2. Unfortunately though, Hand Guy is going to be able to take a turn here. Is he going to go for the S3, or is he going to just S2 and put a barrier up? I think the S2 is probably the better option to help protect that Solitaria here. Yep, so we do see the barrier coming up, protecting that Solitaria. She's going to go into stealth after this turn. And we'll see who she goes for. Probably opting to S1. Yep, there you go. S1 onto that APOC Ravi. Look at her Fighting Spirit. Absolutely drained. And the match just started. So she will be able to get a little bit here. But that Lionheart Surmia also dual attacked yet again. Marguerite's Lionheart Surmia on some Unity set or something in this tournament. But yeah, again, it matters quite a bit because it means that she's one S1 away from getting that S3 up again. And so we're going to see C. Lilius can go for the S3 to debuff, but she can only really S2 as a follow-up here. I don't know if he wants to risk the S1. Yeah, there you go. S2 here onto the Lionheart Surmia, provoking her, making sure that she cannot deal too much damage to the team. Shuna's going to go ahead and cleanse everybody. Nice little healing, continuous heal on the Ron from the C. Lilius Nostalgic Music Box on the last turn. And APOC Ravi, again, look at that, no Fighting Spirit right now, so free pot shots onto her can also be really nice. She can't turn cycle. Ron, ooh, unable to finish off the Cowrick. That is very, very bad. I see Poop is kind of squirming in his seat. Yeah, not looking too great for him right now. This Hand Guy, yeah, he's going to go ahead and raise his hand. The colonoscopy going to be coming in really, really soon. Attack buffing the team. The immunity buff going up. We see the Solitaria taking the turn. This is probably going to hurt quite a bit for this Ron as well. Again, the Solitaria has been doing a lot of work in this tournament. Her win rate's pretty high as well, I believe. So let's see if she opts to go for a S3. Nope, does not. She still goes for S1. She has her S3 available, but opts to go for the S1 just to get as many debuffs onto the team as possible. Look at that stun onto that APOC Ravi. Again, just getting controlled. Ron is the only DPS right now. He's doing work, but look at that. He's going to go down to the Lionheart Surmia and her S3. That's going to be coming up. Shuna does have her S3. Can she actually put this Lionheart to sleep? I don't know if she's built with any effectiveness here. Let's see what happens. No, it's not enough. The immunity on that Lionheart Surmia is protecting her, and the immunity opportunity was not stripped. I think the Lionheart doesn't have a defense buff, but Ron is still going to go down regardless. Yep, there we go. APOC Ravi again, no fighting spirit. Near the end of the combat readiness bar, is Poopest actually able to do this? I don't think so. Yeah, just Shuna's going to be really hurt as well. Oh, opts did not go for the Shuna, goes for the Ravi instead. Again, she's not pushing up, so why not? She's not on counter set either, so she's not going to really punish you at all for hitting her. See, Lilia's going to be dual attacking into this Dilibet, and again, this Lionheart Sermi has just been punishing Poopest this entire match. Marguerite has kind of just found a Poopest weakness and is starting to exploit it. Poopest showing a little bit of frustration here. Yeah, maybe a little bit of agitation, irritation, little hemorrhoid going on. And this Lionheart Sermi again coming in with another S3. Lionheart A Tywin Solitaria seems to be the weakness of Poopest right here. And look at that, Shuna's taken down. Is this going to be it? It is! The Soul Burn from the Lionheart Sermia takes out Poopest St. Ravi, and that is going to be it. He's going to let Marguerite take it. And that is going to be the grand finals. Marguerite undefeated the entire day, becoming the champion of the Epic 7 World Championships 2023. And that is going to do it. What an absolute landslide victory for Marguerite there, right? With his power, with the power of the body pillow and the support of a loving mother. That's all you need to win. So you too can become a champion. Just gotta purchase that body pillow first. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe for more Epic 7 content. And until next time, take care. And don't forget to wipe and flush.